Hi everyone, um, it's Lina Archbold with Facebook Live. Usually I run on Wednesday night, but I was very busy last Wednesday taking my parents to see their grandchildren performance. I didn't want you to miss, and I didn't want me to miss sharing my tips with you. I'm just checking who is joining us. Okay, I can see people joining, and if you joining, please put in comments. Introduce yourself. Where are you from? I'm just curious where you're from, and I hope you can hear me. So today's or tonight's in Britain Facebook Live is about fine felt. It's not a secret that I am in love with fine felt to extent when I need to create thick felt, I'm really struggling. It seems like it's tend to create fine felt. Okay, let's look who's joining us. Cannot see comments at the moment. By the way, have you noticed I'm not wearing felt tonight? I'm wearing poncho. Look. I just quickly tell you about this poncho. It's a massive, it's quite a big poncho. I created this poncho in 2011. It took me, hi, first time viewer, it's great to be here, Bian Morsman, I believe. Okay, great, thank you, welcome. Aileen from Chicago, welcome. So I'm talking about first this poncho. That was created in 2011, long time, well, yeah, time before I discovered felt making. That was created, believe or not, it took me 1 year. Why? Because it was my cancer recovery project. I did not have any energy after over 70 chemos, and I could not follow any instructions. So I was creating different pieces, practicing different techniques, and then I assembled together. This is quite, I love this, really love this piece. It's called freeform crochet, and I do like to incorporate with felt too. Hi, Lina from Sweden. However, today's topic is fine felt. There is not a secret that I've been creating using fine felt techniques. Quite a few fine felt techniques. Why? Because I create wearables. So, it's here. Look, this is very fine glove. We don't want any stiffness. We really want that being soft and even stretchy. The same with hat. I created this hat, oh my goodness, I think 8 years ago. And it is very soft. And I love beanies because I do this, put in my bag, and I'm ready to go. And this, as I said, this been created, I think around 8 years ago, reversible, very soft, okay? So really, this is fine felt. I create tunics, jumpers, this is fine felt. In fact, for this tunic, and it is quite free shape, I mean, it's quite, can you see, it's went less than 100 grams of merino wool. Hi, Mary. Even this, quite a few less of wool here, but it is classed as, for me, it's classed as fine felt. Even jumper created with 23 microns wool, we will talk about materials. This is beautiful, fine felt. So we create fine felt mainly when I create fine felt, mainly when I create wearables. So what materials are used for fine felt? I think it's a myth that if you want to achieve fine felt, use 15 microns or 18.5. Like I said, this sweater, and it is quite fine, was created with 23 microns natural merino wool. It's not thickness of merino wool, of course. Bergschaft will not give you fine felt, and Bergschaft is not used for wearables. Tonight we're talking about wearables. I use merino wool. I use merino wool 18.5, 19 microns, 21 up to 23. Okay. I discovered that I started to enjoy 22, 23 merino wool after actually that was introduced to me by Diana Nagorna when we ran master class. She introduced this gray. We were creating coats with this gray merino wool 23 microns, and you know, when I saw that softness, fine but soft felt, I really fall in love with this merino wool. It's like gray and white, you know, merino wool, natural. What's the difference between 18.5, 19 and 21, 22, 23? 18.5 and 19, and why I'm saying 18.5, 19 depends where you buy. It's the same wool. You buy it from Italy or you buy it from England. It's just different numbers, but it is the same wool. So 18.5, 19 feels like thin paper. That's true. Really smooth, like paper. Hi, Rini from Holland. Welcome. While 21 up to 23 merino wool, it's more soft. Even, how can I say, it's like airy, or it's soft. It does not feel flat, but you're still able to achieve fine felt. What else? What other materials are used for fine felt? There is not a secret that I use extensively Margilan silk, especially Margilan rarefied and Margilan gauze silk. That gives, you know, really, you can use this silk as a backing. Sorry saying that, it's just like lining. I know it's might be not very nice to say using silk as lining, but my item is reversible. So sometimes I prefer to see more fiber, because fiber gives you better shine and texture than Margilan rarefied silk. It all depends what you're creating, okay? So silk. And why I use silk? Because then you can use very minimal amount of wool. The crucial to achieve fine felt, it's amount of wool. That's why I really encourage you to have scales in your studio. Okay, my students know that I always recommend in my online classes amount of wool for particular garment or scarf and particular size. I always do my best to measure and give that information. Then people know when they create and what to use, what to expect. Other my favorite material, other fiber, not wool. Why I'm saying other fiber, non-wool fiber? Because it doesn't need, viscose been very popular. And many felt makers been using viscose, including myself. Viscose is great when you're creating wearables, when you're creating something which needs to give your beautiful drape. This is where viscose comes. It's heavier than silk and it really drapes. Hi, Alison. Thank you. You probably missed. I'll share what this about. I did share what this about, how I created. I will come back to in the end, okay, about this crochet. So Viscose gives beautiful drape. So I love creating tunics. I love tunics because I wear them with on top of dresses, on top of jeans, and it just feel warm, and I use viscose extensively. I also like to use Tussa silk to laminate my fine felt. Tussa silk obviously is a luxury, it's more expensive. So if you're creating big layouts, and next week I'm creating super long, and I'm 5'11" dress, which free shape with long sleeves. So imagine how much viscose I will use. And I tell you, it's short of 300 grams. Depends how much texture you want to achieve. If you want more texture, you add more viscose. If you want just to laminate nicely, gives nice shine, then you just use minimum. So imagine 300 gram of Tussa silk to use. It's a little bit on expensive side. And Tussa silk is not as heavy as viscose, so it's not going to give that nice drape I want to achieve. Okay, so when you choose materials, take in consideration what you want to achieve. Often 3 materials enough for fine felt. Like I said, wool, some silk, some fiber. Okay, you don't have to use all materials. Let me to share with you, you probably have seen my waistcoat. Okay, so this is and again that created using 23 macrons. And look, I did not want this particularly fine felt because I wanted structure. Okay, I wanted nicely sitting waistcoat, so I cannot call that is particularly fine felt, but it's still nice drape, right? So here on top, I did not laminate with other fiber. I just created a pattern on top of wool. If you look, this is how wool looks. And it is from Walter Wool if you're in England. And it is, you know, it is gray natural, dark gray natural merino wool. It comes like dark gray and little white, you know, thread. So how can I say, you can see even here on felt, can you see white? It really looks beautiful. Love this wool, highly recommend, and it's not expensive. So that's materials. What is most important and to achieve fine felt is your layout. This is where you must have your scales. Okay, have your scales. If you follow in my online classes, please stick to amount of wool. I usually, when I create particular item, I say and I write amount of wool for this particular size, for this particular item I used. Try really practice your layout. What types layout is great for fine felt? Obviously, we know herringbone layout is great. It's how I call this 1.5 layout. Okay, so it gives that layout, and I have videos on my YouTube, on my blogs. If you check my blogs at Lena Archibald Textile Art and Design, there are different types of layout, including videos, very useful. And I share, I don't remember how many, I think 4 types of layouts. Okay, my 2 favorite layouts for fine felt is herringbone layout and clouds layout. Clouds layout, people mistaken thinking, oh, that's easy layout and I will not use lots of wool. That's not the case. You know, you really need to practice that layout, and the best way to practice on piece of paper A4, and to achieve fine layout using clouds, I use 2 grams of wool. A4 dimensions, I think it's 20 by 30 or 22 by 32 centimeters. Okay, 2 grams. This way, if you start to measure your wool, and if you like me who don't like to stand long covers and I create big garments around the table, I just do stacks of paper of layouts and then go back to studio and I create my wearable fast. Okay, and that's what we're going to do in May, our master class on tunic. We're really going to do that layout sitting down and really mastering that fine layout, and then go back to the table and do this tunic. Okay, that's my practice. That's my practice to creating wearables, fine felt. I want to show you another felt, and you probably will recognize this one when I go through. Look how light. You probably can see me through this. I don't know if you can. Okay, so that is called cobweb. Okay, this is a cobweb. And I encourage, look, but cobwebs come. So traditional cobweb has lots of holes. I love that as well. This one, super without holes. That was a challenge, and look how it's a big shawl, and I just literally can fit like that. So I can see we have my Felt with Lina members here, Mary, Rini, Alison. Look, I encourage you to look. You have this class on your dashboard. So check that class. It's Let's Felt Cobweb Scarves. Okay, that's really great technique. Why? You know me. I don't want to put any strain on my body. I usually do layouts sitting down. The same with this. That's what I do creating this scarf. I do not this particular scarf from the class. I created this later. I think it was pink I was creating in the class. Sitting down with glass of coffee, with glass of gin and tonic, cup of coffee or cup of tea in front of TV, using small table, you are creating. This is quite wide. Can you see? It's not as long, but it's still longish. It is wide scarf, creating on small space. So this class is available to my members, Felt with Lina. I encourage, Mary, I know you will look. And Rini and Alison, it's great. Rini, this is great. I know you're recovering after surgery. This is great one. This is good for people who going through some medical issues. They cannot felt. This is good one because you can create layout dry, okay, in front of TV. Highlies from Bristol, and then felt later. Rini, I forgot to mention this when we had Zoom, when we talk what to do when I'm recovering, because felt making is very physical. So Liz, I'm talking about class Let Felt Cobweb Scarves. It's on your dashboard, and really this was my one of the best sellers when I was selling in galleries, and when I had orders like 20 scarves standing, and if anybody done cobweb, you know how long it takes to do cobweb standing. I do remember I had workshop, first workshop, and before even I did this, started to sit down and do quickly this layout. We did not manage to do this scarf in one day. it took so long to do that layout. That's why I was thinking how quickly to do these layouts and not breaking our backs, okay? For if anyone who's here listening to me, not part of my Felt with Lina Club, I release this class for everyone, and it is on sale, reduced from £75 to 59 till Tuesday, and then I'm going to remove enrollment to this class. So double check. It's a great technique, and I think anyone who creates scarves should have this technique in their toolkit. And this is the most finest felt I can create, and I create very fine. And cobweb without holes. If you make holes, great. I like cobwebs with holes, but that was a challenge. No holes here. So really, what else important to achieve fine felt? I'm not talking about cobweb. I'm talking about generally what is important. The important is not to overfelt. As soon as you start overfelt, your fine felt can turn into thicker felt, and all drapes, everything disappear. So how to control? I can see a lamp in front of me, lamp, because otherwise lights. I even forgot to put lights in my here. Okay, I've just discovered. So, and I can see rings in my glasses. So, how to avoid overfelting? Underfelting is terrible, but overfelting is not good either. So really, overfelting when I'm not sure, and actually it's not when I'm not sure, it's my practice. When I create, especially a big variable, where little bit more felting can spoil it, and you spend days and days working on this garment, and suddenly your underfelting can be resolved. Overfelting, very difficult. Okay, it depends on what stage of overfelting. So really, if you're not sure if it's underfelted or overfelted, well, hopefully it's not overfelted. If you're not sure, stop felting dry, because it's always easy to understand if your felt is ready when it's dry. You don't need to rinse. A little bit will be stiff, but still, it's easier to understand when it's dry. Next day, when it's dry, examine if it's felted well, and we talk about how to understand if our felt is ready. I have blog on Lina Archibald Textile and Design. I have YouTube. Double check that. So if it's felted well, great. It's dimensions there. Everything sits beautifully. All your edges complete. Go and rinse. Be very careful when you rinse as well. If I am sure that my felt is ready, I just rinse with cold water. That's all. Adding vinegar to neutralize soap. In the end, when I completely rinse, I might add fabric conditioner and rinse completely. Okay. When my felt, hi Diane, when my felt is completely ready, okay, and dry, then I press. I use iron with steam. You know, it's like aggregate. It's not just aggregate, I don't know. It's not just iron. It's again, when Diana Nagorno visited me, she said, you have to have this toy. Well, wherever she says, I have to have that toy. So that's a little bit. I think it's quite a lot of tips here about fine felt. First of all, choose your materials. And like I said, to me, it's a myth that you have to use 15 or 18.5 microns wool for your fine felt. No, it's your layout. Layout is the key. So pay attention to your layout and check my blog And in my online classes, I always talk layout. Layout is important, is the key to have quality felt, okay? What else important? Make sure you do not overfelt. Like I said, stop. Not sure, stop. Let it dry and then look if it's underfelted. Felt further, maybe just a little bit. Oh, what else I forgot to say? Never bash your felt. When I'm saying bashing, throwing. Please don't do that. Treat your felt nicely. As soon as you start to bash your felt, you're not in control. It shrinks so fast. That's when overfelting is happening. Please be gentle with your felt. I do take everything slow and gently, and I just watch how that pre-felt turns slowly into felt. It's rewarding. Okay, take your time. Don't use, when you rinse your felt, try to avoid to use hot water because it's shrinking further. Okay, and use iron with steam to press. Be careful. What I notice that can actually little bit shrink as well. How I know? I'm creating wall hangings for my exhibition, and in one wall hanging edges were like this a little bit. With iron, with steam on full blast, I manage to achieve straight line, just going round and round, and actually it's become straight. I'll check tomorrow if it's still straight and not doing this. It's not so badly, but still, it's not exactly lying straight on the table. So I'm going to turn this into blog. You will find more blogs on my website, Lena Archibald Textile Art and Design. And I come back, who just joined me, to this poncho. Alison asked me about this poncho, and actually I've never showed this poncho. It has massive significance to me. I created this poncho in 2011. I remember exactly. I was starting to make in March. I completed my chemotherapy, over 75 chemos, just in January. No, February, sorry, February. It was the final. And I needed to keep my hands busy, but I could not. Hi, Ludmila. Ludmila Tkachenko, my friend from Ukraine. We went to school together. It's great to have you here. So fantastic. Thank you. So, and what I was doing, I could not follow any instructions, but I was keen to learn crochet. I could knit. That point, I did not start felting, and I wanted to just learn crochet. And I was crocheting all this separately, and that was pieces, all practice, everything what you see. I was learning crochet, and then I stitch all pieces together. It took me, you will not believe, I was doing this during 1 year. I was crocheting, I was putting away, and then I put high tummy, and then I stitch all this together into the poncho. I even added, basically, look, all this, that was all practice. I could not make this, so I was practicing. So this is technique called free form. Okay, free form crochet and knitting. It is just crochet. It's great when you have leftovers from projects, and then you start to put all this together. And that's my really, I love this. I love this. I've been wearing extensively, and it still looks quite nice. So thank you so much for your attention. I will convert this live, Facebook Live, into blog. My apologies for forgetting to put light. It's a little bit dark. So I've just come back from shopping with my mom, and I just quickly started this Facebook Live, so totally forgot. Thank you, Alison. If you're interested, we can look. I can teach you how to make all this. We can look as part of with our members felt with Lena. Actually, what I really think will look good in this technique when all these flat pieces felted pieces, we all have some leftovers or some non-happen projects, cut them and then crochet all this around. That's an idea, to combine crochet, freeform and felt. So thank you so much for your attention. Felt with Lena members, we have Zoom live tomorrow at 7 o'clock UK time. So I'll see you then. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. All the best. Goodbye.